Hi everyone, welcome back to Love and Life Sorted. I'm Dr. Sandy Toe, and I can't believe it'll be 3 weeks until Chinese New Year. Yeah, so of course we've already ushered in the new year, 2026, this month, right? But for the lunar calendar, it only begins in February 17th, which is considered this year to be the first day of the lunar calendar. So the first day of the year of the horse. Okay, yeah, this year it's a little late for the beginning of the Lunar New Year because usually it ranges from late January to early February. So this year it's especially late and it's really near Valentine's Day. Okay, it's only like 3 days from Valentine's Day. Can you believe it? Yeah, it hasn't happened like this for a long time. So it's especially significant for us to find the right partner. Okay, yeah. So let's see this as like some impetus driving us in this new year, this new energy to find the right partner for us, for those of us who are single. Okay, single and fabulous, right? So why stay single if you're fabulous? That is one of my most downloaded episodes ever. So, it's a testament to how many fabulous women out there who really do want to find a partner, like a really great companion for them to share their wins and losses, right? To share their ups and downs in life. So why not? Right? So, see this as something that would nourish you, like something that can complement you, not something like a need, right? It's a choice, not a need. Okay, this is my motto. Okay, so finding a partner, getting married, it's a choice, not a need for modern accomplished women. Okay, so see this energy of the horse to drive us and motivate us to manifest our right partner. Right, so I will be talking more about the year of the horse and what it symbolizes in another episode that leads up to the new year. Okay, so rest assured, this episode is dedicated to sign compatibility. Okay, yeah, so this is something that is often overlooked. Not because people don't care about astrology, but it's in this day and age, I know that people have very basic knowledge of astrology. You only need to know your birthday to know your sign. And like men and women alike, although some people argue that women are more attuned to this sort of stuff, like they like studying astrology more because women are more interested in, I guess, self-development, self-awareness, and those issues, right? So that's why, the girls that I know, like they regularly would know their sign. But for some of the guys, like they may not be really sure, is this their sign or something, because they haven't really like delved deep into it. So, but regardless of that, I think that sign compatibility is something that cannot be neglected when finding the right partner. Okay, this stems from the theory that should you find someone like having opposites attract or something, right? So opposites attract has been proven to be a complete myth. Okay, so the thing is, we may have been seduced by Paula Abdul's song from the 90s, Opposites Attract. Well, at least I was, it was something that I listened to when I was a kid, right? So yeah, I so remember that song, Opposites Attract. Okay, and it's like nice and catchy song and like really sexy and everything. Of course, like there's like sizzling sexual energy when opposites attract, right? So attracting on a very superficial level, but for the long-term sustainability, I think that it's been proven on many levels and many research that opposites do not make for a good couple. Okay, it does not make for a good compatibility, obviously. Okay, I mean, if you're coming from very disparate backgrounds or you have very disparate like interests and values, right? So I don't think for the long term, you can live with that person in harmony. Okay, so it'll just lead to like a heartbreak and bad breakup. You're not comfortable in each other's presence on a deeper level, right? So how can you feel comfortable being with each other day and night? And when you're married, okay, you're not just going on a date and then going back to each other's respective houses once the date is over, once you had your fun for a few hours, but you're gonna be spending like 24/7 with this person, like in the same like household. So can you imagine if your energies and your vibrations are very, very different? How can that make you at ease? Right? So it's just going to trigger a lot of conflicts in the end. Okay, so how would you know if this person is compatible with you in terms of values and your energy levels, and whether or not you will be comfortable in the presence of each other 24/7? Okay, so you know what? There is a way of finding out, and it's just very, very direct, straightforward, which is something that I'm surprised that people neglect. And it is by comparing your signs. Yeah. So it's it's not some new age mumbo jumbo. It's not some like esoteric method or something that like mere mortals have trouble grasping, or it's like not something that's up in the air and totally inaccessible, right? So it's just very simple. You just need to know each other's birthdays and then compare if you are of a similar sign, like a compatible sign and element. Okay. I know there is so much more than just the sun sign. Okay, so the sun sign is just your basic sign that your birthday tells you what you are. Like, say you're born in like mid-September, then you're a Virgo, right? So that's quite obvious, and everyone knows their sign in this day and age. Okay, so, a bit of introduction to the signs. Okay, so say, for instance, if you are a Virgo like me, you would feel most at ease, like finding someone who is either a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. So they are all earth signs that are the same sign as you. Okay. Or you would also feel at ease and comfortable with someone who is a Cancer, a Pisces, or Scorpio. But if you are a Sagittarius, for instance, like someone who's a fire sign, then you would be more at ease and more comfortable with someone who has the same fire element as you, such as Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And or someone from like the air, having like air elements, like the air signs such as Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Yeah, but okay, you know what? Like, I know a couple who, there are two Sagittarius people, okay, who have come together, and they both love their freedom. They don't spend that much time together during the week, okay, so they're married. It took them 10 years, like I think a little over 10 years being together to be married, because they both crave their freedom so much. And the fact that they're with each other, they sort of understand that. And so they're not restricting each other. And, I guess that's why it took 10 years for them to actually get married and start a family. Yeah, but imagine if the Sagittarius person was with someone who's, say, like a Cancerian, like a Cancer person with the water element, who craves stability and craves family life. Then I don't think it would work out. The Sagittarian would be so resentful if the Cancer person was trying to bring them down. It'll be sort of like a wet blanket thrown over a ball of fire, right? So fire and water, you can sort of understand the contradiction of that. And similarly, I think the Cancer would just feel so insecure if they were with someone who is a Sagittarius, because Sagittarius, like, they crave their freedom. They always want to roam. Like, I'm not saying wander, but like they just want to like have the freedom to pursue their own interests, and they don't really want to stay at home that much. And they want to basically they want to feel that they're not restricted. But Cancer is a bit like they crave security so much. They probably want to hold you down on the sofa and watch like TV every night and cuddle. And while the Sagittarius person maybe just wants to like go hang out with their friends, or go to the gym, or go like go about their intellectual pursuits. Like they really don't want to sit on a couch, right? So there's a lot of conflict when you find someone that's not in your element. Okay, so yeah, it's also important to know like a little bit of knowledge about what element you are in your sign. So, I just mentioned it's really easy to just read up and do a bit of research if you're an earth, fire, air, or water. Right, so there's only 4 elements, and basically it's really easy to understand. Like, if you're with the element that is compatible with you, then chances are that you would feel at ease and you would find this relationship to be sustainable. And nowadays, if you're using online dating apps, you can also specify the sun sign that you want to be with. You can use filters, or you can also put it down, or you can see from the person's profile what sign they are, right? So it's not that hard to find out someone's sun sign. Yeah, so why I'm saying sun sign is the most obvious thing that you would see is according to their birthday. But also, there are other things that make for compatibility in terms of signs. Okay, so it's not just sun sign, but there are other signs that work too, such as moon sign. If you're gonna go like more advanced, there's like moon sign, and also someone's Mercury, Venus, and Mars, and because those are the signs of relationship compatibility. So as I was doing like birth chart analyses for my fellow schoolmates when I was doing my PhD, or even outside of that, like there are friends who maybe they found the girlfriend or boyfriend, and they asked me if I can do their chart comparisons, and I was like, yeah, sure. I just found that even though sometimes you're not of that sun sign, you're not compatible with each other on the sun sign level, which is the most basic level. So there might be other like hidden areas in your birth chart that's are compatible as well. So I have a friend. Okay, a perfect example is I have a friend who's a Cancer, and like all the guys she's dated and even married are Libra. Okay, so at the outset, it doesn't seem like they're compatible at all. So I'm like, well, my friend who's a Cancer like craves security and craves like emotional security and comfort and those things, and needs someone who's really stable. But why is she always choosing Libra? Right? Because Libra is they're known for being really charming and sociable and those things, right? So I'm thinking, the only guy that she has dated who is of a compatible elements with her is a Taurus. So Cancer's water, Taurus is earth. So when I heard that she was dating this guy who's a Taurus, I was like, oh, okay, that's great, that's perfect for you. But it turned out that it wasn't. Okay, so at the end, she didn't choose that guy, and she went back to being with another Libra guy after being with one Libra and one Gemini. Those were both air signs, right? So she went back to marrying a Libra guy who is an air sign, right? She revisited this Libra thing, obsession of hers. So, and then I was like so curious that I did her birth chart, and I found that she has like an Aquarius moon and a Gemini Mars. Okay, that says everything. So no wonder, no wonder she likes this sort of like airy personality. People who are quick-witted, who are sociable and fun. And of course, this like goes a little against her Cancerian sun nature, okay, like her essence is Cancer, but she has like this need for someone who's like fun loving and quick witted and sharp and smart. Okay, so these are the qualities actually of air signs, right? They're like really really quick witted and intelligent, and they're excellent communicators. So yeah, like she loves these qualities in men, and that is why she keeps on choosing men who are air signs, different from her element. Yeah, and I've said it before about my case. Okay, so I consider it like a really really good example because I'm Virgo and my husband is Cancer, and I've always known that like Cancer is a good fit for me because my Mars is in Cancer. Okay, Mars is the sign that women look for when it comes to men. Okay, so relationships with men, it's like they're the masculine energy, the way they assert themselves, and it's like in like looking at love, it's also their like masculine sort of manifestation. Like, well, for myself, I've talked about this quite a few times before. Well, I'm Virgo and my husband is Cancer, and we have like really really complementary energy because he's a water sign and I'm an earth sign, and we're compatible elements. And I've always felt like so much ease just being like in the same room, like doing nothing. I think that's a very very good like that's the best sort of sign that the relationship is stable, because you don't constantly need to be like doing something interesting or trying to rack your brains like thinking how to entertain each other, but you just sitting there in each other's energy, feeling comfortable with it, is something that is already very like valuable in itself. Yeah, so on the contrary, when I was trying to relate with people who are of a different element as me, so like a Gemini, for instance, there are air signs, right? So trying to relate with a Gemini or an Aquarius, which is an air sign, I've tried to relate to guys like that, but it just seems like it's good conversation, I guess, and a quite nice rapport. But the thing is, there's something missing. Like, I just don't feel like safe or comforted in their presence. Okay, so I don't think our personalities like are a good match on that level. So you can basically just feel it being in the presence of people who are not exactly like in a compatible element as you. You just feel like there's something missing, there's something lacking, and you don't feel completely at ease. And so you would know instantly that, like, no matter how good the conversation, even though you may be a good match so economically, in terms of background and those things, but the energy is off, right? So that will not make for long-term sustainability. Okay, so another example I want to use is a friend of mine who got married a few years ago, and he's a Pisces, right? So like he had asked me to do a birth chart reading for him and his girlfriends before he got married, who was a Sagittarius. So the minute that I knew that his girlfriend was Sagittarius, I was like, well, yeah, I sort of felt that it would not work out because they are so different. Like, in terms of elements, she's fire and he's water. Okay, so the most basic way of explaining it is the elements. Okay, so So he gave me the chart reading, and then, well, there are some compatible elements in the chart, right? So that are outside the sun sign, the basic essence. So in the end, they broke up because they were just too different. Like, he's Pisces, and he basically, needs to be nurtured, okay, and she's Sagittarius, and she needs her freedom. Okay, so yeah, it didn't work out. So in the end, he married someone who is a Scorpio. It's a water element, okay, same as him. So this woman can give him all the nurturing, all the emotional security that he needs, for his nature. Yeah, so they are like completely compatible personalities, and they got married within 2 years of knowing each other. And you know what? The magical thing is, I never knew, and perhaps he doesn't either, that he was with someone who was of a compatible element. Yeah, and I guess he's like, well, he needed me to figure out his personality for him, okay, in the first place. So I don't think he did a lot of research about the personality of his wife. But the thing is, like, magically, he had come to meet someone like that who was of compatible nature as him, on his own. Okay, so another case is of incompatible signs is a guy who is a Capricorn, and he married someone who is an Aries. So yeah, they're really quite different. The signs are squared. So not only are they in different elements, incompatible elements, one is an earth sign, one's a fire sign, but they're also square each other. So in astrology, it means like there are 3 signs apart, and this is like the most uncompatible element there is, okay, in terms of aspects. But well, they had their fair share of conflicts, and the marriage was not smooth sailing, as I know. And they've tried like being apart and getting back together, and well, now they are actually quite strong, as I heard. So it proves that yes, you may have gotten together with someone who is a different nature as you. Okay, so in this case, like again, Capricorn is like really goal oriented, but Aries likes to be the leader. And oh yeah, and another thing is like they're conflicting because they're both cardinal signs. So yeah, another thing to get into and on a more advanced level is they're both competing to be leaders. It basically, I guess in the household and everything. So it's like a clash of elements, and also the clash of the orientation. Okay, so yeah, they're quite different in terms of world outlook. Okay, but the thing is, they have worked it out on their own terms, like using their own agency. So yeah, the thing is, if you have gotten together for some reason with someone who is not the same nature as you, it's not a total disaster. It's like not the end of the world, because okay, of course, we're talking about choosing a partner now before you know the sign, like to find someone who's a compatible sign. But what if you're already with someone who is not of a very compatible sign as you? Then you have to work it out, right? It doesn't mean that you're just gonna like give up just because, right? So the thing is, the thing is, self-awareness is also very important in this occasion. Awareness that this is one of the things that have led to your conflict. Yeah, that's important too, because you can work it out once you have the self-awareness. Isn't that right? Like, it's better than not knowing why. So once you've known why you have conflicting natures and it's because of your incompatible signs, then I think you can find a way to work it out. Like, for instance, the man like is a Capricorn, the woman is an Aries. I think they try to reconcile some of the things, some of the differences, knowing they have them. Okay, there is another couple who is the woman is a Gemini and the guy is a Scorpio. So it's air and water. again, incompatible elements. Okay, and I would say that their marriage is strong because there's the socioeconomic thing that's holding them together. Okay, so that's why I say it's an interplay between a couple's sustainability, whether they're a good match, is totally an interplay between socioeconomic values and also personality traits. Okay, so although they don't have compatible personalities, they have similar values, okay? In terms of monetary values, material values, economic values, those things are compatible, okay? Like family values, right? So these are like worldly values. They're compatible at least, okay? So this forms the basis of their strong marriage. They're not definitely going to break up, I think, till the end of time. I think, like, if they have this gel that sticks them together, the worldly nature. But in terms of the otherworldly, like the more otherworldly values, like the energy level and those things, they are totally not compatible, and that's why they don't spend that much time together. On their personal time, like the woman, she likes to go off, the Gemini, right? She craves her intellectual stimulation. She goes off and learns stuff on her own. And she craves the time that she has when her husband is at work. Okay, yeah, she definitely values the time that he's not at home. She'd rather him not being at home that much and off to work for long hours than him sitting at home all the time. So I guess similarly for the man, like the Scorpio man, I think he thinks that his wife is too neurotic and drives him crazy, and that's why he goes off, and also after work sometimes he goes and does his own hobbies, okay, and tries to get out of each other's skin sometimes, and that's fine too, because they have their family time as a whole family unit when it's the weekend. Okay, so during the weekdays, like, they just want to get out of each other's skin as much as possible to avoid conflict. So that makes sense too, right? So if like you are with someone of quite a different elements, you have your way of getting by too without breaking up. It's not as drastic as that, because it's either you have both things compatible, which is the worldly elements, the socioeconomic elements, and the personality traits. Like, if those two things come together, then it's like a perfect match. Okay, perfect union, and congratulations to you. But if one thing is off, then I guess the other can compensate too. Right? So it's either you're very compatible in terms of values, worldly values, but you're a bit off in terms of personality. It pays to maybe spend some time apart and try to reconcile the differences and not drive each other nuts, right? Because you have the other thing that's sticking you together. So I guess, it's give and take at the end of the day. And if you can help it, it pays to actually find someone who fits both of these things, both of these aspects, both worldly and otherworldly. Okay? Finding a partner is a choice and not a need, right? But if you're gonna make that choice, you have to make it where it's someone who complements your strengths and weaknesses, helps you improve and helps you deal with everyday life and makes you feel comfortable, has the same vibration as you, and could help you evolve as an individual, right? So we're just not gonna be with just anyone, but it has to be someone who complements us, right? Who shares our successes and helps us cope with our failures. So in order to find someone like that, I think that this compatibility is important. So definitely not opposites attract, okay? So yeah, one particular site that I go to that calculates everything for you is astro.com. It's a free site. So I've been going to this for like years and years. And I've taught people to go there also to find out their chart and to interpret it. Yeah, so it has tools for interpretation as well. Remember to check out IG because I will be posting affirmations in this coming 3 weeks leading up to Chinese New Year to, give you more affirmation and dedication in finding a partner. Like it starts with this willpower, like it starts with determination, even though it's not going to manifest immediately, but we have to usher this new start into the new year of the horse, which is full of energy and full of forward movement. Okay, so don't waste this moment. Right, so see you again next week, and then where we will have more special episodes that are related to family and finding a partner and the new year. Okay, so see you again next week on Love and Life Sorted, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode.